Lady killed her boyfriend for $30 million. Crazy. Let's start watching.
So this guy, his name's Steven, and Steven has a big problem. He's about to be rich. So why is that a big problem? Well, Steven, he's 51, he lives in North Dakota, and one day he gets this crazy email. And the email is from a lawyer in London. And this London lawyer lets Stephen know that one of his relatives in Ireland passed away and that he's in line for a huge inheritance check, around $30 million. Now, I've talked about Stephen before. I told his story back in 2023, but there have been some updates to this. So, before I give you the update, let me get you up to speed. So back in 2023, Stephen learns about this inheritance he's about to get, and he is pumped. Because who wouldn't be? I mean, that's $30 million. And so he's planning it all out in his head, how he's going to spend it. He's going to get a few acres of land. He's going to give a little money to his adult sons, maybe even start his own auto shop. Now, Stephen has a longtime girlfriend, this woman, Ina. And they live together. They've been living together for 10 years. And Ina is also pumped about this $30 million. I mean, she's already talking about it openly.
He gets his inheritance this afternoon. That's why we're moving. We're going to pay all our bills off that we need to pay off.
Here's the thing about Ina, though. She's been Steven's girlfriend for a really long time, but the thing is, Steven isn't really feeling her anymore. In fact, once he gets his inheritance money, he plans on leaving her. And he's told some of his close friends about this plan. And so I guess word gets around, and one day, someone close to Ina comes up to her and tips
Like the guy that shows that Steven looks like he's way younger than her.
her off
Like
about
she's
this,
an old
that
person.
once Steven gets his money, he's out of this relationship. And Ina is pissed. I mean, she can't let that happen. I mean, she's put up with Steven for 10 whole years. She feels like she's entitled to some of that inheritance money, too. Now, some states in the U.S. have what's called common law marriage, where if you've been living together for a long period of time, you are considered legally married. And she and Steven have been living together for a long period of time, so she feels like she is his common law wife. And so Ina starts thinking, you know, if Steven happens to accidentally pass away, all that money will go to his common law wife, me. And so Ina comes up with a plan to unalive Steven and take all his inheritance money. Okay, real quick, a huge part of my job involves writing. I upload a true crime story nearly every day, which means I write or co-write a script nearly every single day. And that's why I use Grammarly. Grammarly is an AI writing partner that works seamlessly with your everyday apps and that helps you write better and faster. So the favorite features is their tone suggestion, which will sound all manager at work is different. In general, Grammarly helps me communicate my fixing my grammar of my storytelling. Head over to grammarly.com/Ray, where you to fly into town and for Steven to go meet him at the airport. I guess once they meet, Steven can sign the document. He needs to sign a bunch of paperwork, and they have arranged for the London lawyer you can sign up and download for free. Now, in order for Steven to get this $30 million, he needs to sign a bunch of paperwork. And they have arranged for the London lawyer to fly into town and for Steven to go meet him at the airport. I guess once they meet, Steven can sign the documents, and that will complete the transaction, and he can get his $30 million. And so Ina's thinking, what if he gets sick? What if he makes it to the airport, signs the paperwork to transfer the money, and then he gets really sick and passes away? And I guess Ina thinks this is a hell of an idea, because on the day he's supposed to go to the airport, Ina pours a little antifreeze into Steven's sweet tea that he always drinks. And if you don't know, antifreeze has a little sweet taste to it, otherwise you can't really taste it. It's also poison. And so she poisons his sweet tea, and he unknowingly drinks it. A few hours later, Ina...
Why are you gonna drink it? You broke up with a girl you were with a long time and you know you have money. Why? I don't know.
Steven and a few of Steven's friends, they all take a trip over to the airport. So they get there and the whole group is there, chilling in the waiting area, waiting for this lawyer's flight to land. And after a bit of time passes, suddenly, Steven starts to feel terrible. He gets stomach pains, like really bad ones. And with each passing minute, the pain gets worse and worse. And his friends are like, yo, should we take him and leave? And Steven's like, no, because, you know, there's $30 million at stake here. He wants to wait a bit longer. He feels like he can make it. And so they wait. and they wait, and they wait. And poor Steven gets sicker and sicker and sicker. And after a few hours, they start to feel like, well, this London lawyer isn't going to show up. I don't know, maybe his flight got delayed or something. But by this time, Steven is in really bad shape. Like, he can't walk on his own, and he barely seems conscious. And Steven's friends are like, yo, Ina, Steven's looking really bad. I think you need to call an ambulance. And Ina's like, no, he's fine. It's probably just heat stroke. And she insists on not taking him to the hospital. And so Steven's friends take him home instead, and they put him in bed to rest. While Ina waits back at the airport because she's waiting for the London lawyer to arrive. And unfortunately, the London lawyer never does. And about a day goes by, and Steven is still at home, and he still isn't doing well. And at this point, he's completely unresponsive. And Ina's there, and she's like, shit, I guess I gotta call 911. And so she calls, and an ambulance comes and takes Steven to the hospital, and unfortunately there, he passes away. And when Ina gets the news of Steven's passing, she gives an Oscar-worthy performance.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I guess the son is on his way here. Okay.
Now, Steven's friends, they aren't stupid. They know something's up, and they are immediately
Luckily, the guy has a smartphone. Like, what the hell? Why is she not acting?
suspicious of Ina. In fact, one of them tells police right away.
And I don't want her to sell it because we think she poisoned him. I'm almost sure she poisoned him.
And then they interview some of Steven's other friends, and some of them suggest that Ina used to make offhand comments that if she ever had to murder him, she would do it with antifreeze. And police, they give all this information to the coroner, who then tests Steven's blood, and I'm sure you can guess what they find.
The results revealed ethylene glycol in his system, the key ingredient for antifreeze.
But when police question Ina, she tries to put the blame on Steven's friends.
I told him, you gotta go with me. Your friends are gonna kill you. You gotta leave them. I don't care if you're here, but get a real job and don't ever talk to them again, because they will kill you. Apparently he was poisoned.
And then she also tells police about some other concerns she has.
And I don't know how to get a hold of the guy in London for his inheritance. He should be here in town. I don't understand, so why he never showed up at the airport.
Now, her priorities are obviously on the money, but here's the thing about that, though. She's thinking the inheritance will go to her, as she is Steven's common-law wife. But they live in North Dakota, and North Dakota doesn't actually recognize common-law marriage. So, she ain't getting shit. So anyway, police aren't buying her nonsense. So they get a warrant, and they search the couple's home, and they find a lot of antifreeze in places that it shouldn't have been. In a beer bottle, in a coffee mug, in a Windex bottle. I guess she was just putting it in all kinds of places. Super weird. And so they go to her house, and bam, they arrest her.
Why me? I've never been arrested before like this. I've never done anything. I haven't done anything.
And here's her mugshot.
State prosecutors say 47-year-old Ina Knoyer poisoned her boyfriend Stephen Riley Jr. with antifreeze on the false belief that she would receive part of a multi-million-dollar inheritance upon his death.
And the update on this story is that she eventually does admit to poisoning Stephen. She pleads guilty, and she's sentenced to 25 years in prison. Oh, and if you don't remember from last time we talked about this, it turns out that that email that Stephen got from the London lawyer, it was all just a scam. Like, there was no relative in Ireland who passed away. There was no $30 million. There was no London lawyer going to meet them at the airport. It was all an email scam that Stephen and Ina fell for. And unfortunately, she was dumb enough to unalive him over it. Actually kind of sad.
Imagine killing someone for no reason. They're blamed for nothing. If you like the video, not my video like that. Killing someone for nothing, particularly you're murdering the person, because you practically got nothing. So, thanks for watching. We need to go 50 subscribers, bro. Peace out. Huh? It's not done.